Alright. Oh, it's the end of the chapter. Chapter 2, Shadow of the Nighthawks. Whoa. Okay. A whisper led him through madness. He stumbled forward with unfamiliar feet, 10 times too small to belong to a warrior. There were lights on the hills around him, fires, voices shouting through a downpour of sloshing hoofbeats. He reached for his sword, then remembered that he hadn't a sword that night. He had only been a boy, 12 midsummers. Only a boy, and yet he led the ragged remains of his father's tribe. Who leads the Mordhell? The whispering voice insisted in his head. I must see more. Years. A river of men coursed together in a bleeding tide, and he was amidst them. Screams rang. A howling figure silhouetted himself against the moon and brandished a bloody sword aloft. The wolfish figure screamed words of wrath and damnation as he cleaved his way through his Mordhell brothers. That Brian Blessed... Well, I was going to say that Brian Blessed thing got me into the whole voice acting vein, and then I just went and fucked it up. And then I'm interrupting this. Alright. He was Delicon, former general of Myrmidabada, leader of the unified tribes of the Northlands, and he was the enemy. Gorath! The memory detonated into a million fading thoughts, each fleeing after the faint echoes of a weak whisper. Before him now there was a new image, the face of a fair young girl, whose pale blue eyes watched him with weary interest. There were others, too, all seated like himself, around a polished council table, all studying, all dissecting, and Gorath was the object of their scrutiny. I cannot find the truth, my prince, the tired girl whispered, finally, quietly. His mind is chaotic. I find images, but I cannot hold them long enough to understand. Narrowing his dark eyes, Prince Arutha glared at Gorath. He hides his thoughts? Gorath is Mordhell. Pug quickly interceded for his exhausted daughter. Even with Gamina's exceptional talent for sensing thoughts, his mind may have many innate psychic defenses. I may need to send for one of my advanced students. No need to disturb studies, Master Magician Pug. The Mordhell speaks truly. Council members exchanged surprised glances, then turned their attention to the aged magician seated next to Pug. Lowering his eyes, the man made a dismissive gesture. Forgive me, I do not mean to presume, but I have looked into his mind as well, Makala continued. War in the kingdom would have many wide-ranging effects, not the least of which could lead to a disruption of trade between our two worlds. My Emperor of Surananunanananana would be most displeased if our rift-making secrets were seized by barbarians in warfare. Gorath glowered at the Serani magician. Trading agreements notwithstanding, the Mordhell watch your borders. Nighthawks spy on your imperial cousins, and before the snows there shall be an army come to the kingdom. Heed my words, Prince of Krondor. You must prepare your troops! Anger flashed in the thunderheads of Arutha's eyes as he rose to his feet. Whoa! Spill the wine! Dig that girl! Look at Pug! What'd he do? He spilled the wine on my pants! What a dumbass! That's not how you make oatmeal! And then his daughter is over there like, oh, I love it when he gets pissed like this. Oh, dear me. It's like an awkward family photo right there. What I must or must not do will not be dictated by a dissonant Mordhell. If not for Locklear's good faith in you, I would have had your head staked on a pole and paraded up and down the low quarters of Krondor once I saw you. Wow, wow. I have been tolerant while I listened to your vague speculations based on incidental, half-heard conversations, but how am I to believe what you say? What evidence have you laid before this council to prove what Delicon intends to do? What evidence? I bear the humiliation of betraying my vow as a Mordhell and the indignity of surrendering to a sworn enemy. Why betray Delicon to the kingdom of the Isles? Of what benefit to you is it to snare him? He is leader in name only. However bitter a draught Delicon may be for your kith and kin to drink, magician, his rule is black poison in the gullets of me and mine. Already he enslaves my cousin and rapes the land. Ew. Bloody his nose, Prince of Krondor. Blunt his swords, and the unified tribes will cast him down in wrath. Let him cross your northern border, however, and 10 other clans will join their strength to his, and the legacy of Mermandamus, I think I got it. I think I nailed it that time, will be but a spark next to his glory. Where would you have me send my troops? And look at Pug's like, oh, my pants are still wet. This is my only white robe. If indeed he intends to strike against one of our northernmost possessions, which castle shall I garrison for the attack? High Castle? Iron Pass? North Warden? Fart Knocker? If I am to fight a war, by my teeth, tell me where you would have me fight it. All right. It's your teeth, not mine. Would that I could tell you. Delicon holds in his confidence only a handful of cowering dogs, and among them only a few are privy to his war plans. His private counsels are restricted to choice individuals. His advisors Narab and Nago, his mistress Lialan, his son and Nighthawks. I think that emphasis was necessary, whatever. He keeps foul company, that leader of yours. He's still standing up. Sit down. Your Highness, if you give me leave, I believe I can find the evidence of Delicon's intent. I will need someone to accompany me to Romney, and supplies for my journey and a small parcel of gold. That's kind of an odd destination. Well, yeah, exactly. Romney, what do you think you can find in a provincial river town in the heart of the kingdom? I aim to catch a bird in flight. Of late, Delicon has emptied a good deal of his treasury to revive the service of the Nighthawks. In exchange, he has demanded tactical information about kingdom holdings. How do you know that? Did we... Well, I don't remember that from any of our travels. He probably knew about this before we started, so whatever. He's turned the Guild of Assassins into a guild of spies? Sounds like a stretch. Only for a time. Although the payments have been left in various hidden locales, the messengers were always sent to a rendezvous in Romney. Oh, I do kind of remember this. If I go there, I may be able to intercept information concerning a forthcoming attack. Would such evidence suffice? Perhaps. Damn me, but I don't trust you, Gorath. How do I know that this isn't a plot of yours? We can weigh the evidence to our heart's content, and your cousins could be slitting the throats of my serfs as we sit dawdling. Go to Romney, but you will provide for yourself. If this is part of some secret Mordhell scheme, I'll not look the fool before the world. Pug, unroll the map for me. I would if I could, but I can't get up. I'm stuck to the seat. The scroll smelled of dust. Scrawled in chicken scratches and spider tracks, tiny lines staggered across the moth-eaten paper, indicating the paths that were the major roads within the kingdom. Pointer in hand, Arutha bent over the map and gave us the weekly forecast. And pointed to a large black dot. We are here in Krondor. At dawn tomorrow, you will leave through the main gate and rendezvous with your escort, Senor James. Jimmy! All right. I know you might have preferred Locklear's company, but he has business elsewhere. You will head to Romney. Providing one of Delicon's assassins doesn't slit your throat first, you should reach the Ursine Ford within the month. In Romney, you will join a special detachment of King Liam's soldiers staying at the Black Sheep Tavern. They may be of service to you. Nodding, Gorath took in Arutha's advice, listening studiously as the prince reviewed the details. If you find the evidence, I will act only when James has conveyed the information to me. Is that clear? Only when I receive James's word. Until then, I wait. Understood, Gorath replied. Good, Arutha replied, slapping the surface of the table with his palm. Bam! Looking around the council chamber, he noted the wearied expressions of all who sat around the map. Why don't you let Gamina and Makala show you around Krondor? I have a few things I need to consider alone. Reading the offer as a polite dismissal, the worn council members began to file out the door, most glad to be on their feet again following the grueling session. As Pug passed by, however, Arutha snagged his sleeve and drew him back to the table. If you don't mind, I would have your counsel, Cousin Pug. Certainly, Pug replied, resuming his seat. I am all attention. Okay. Whoa, Pointer! Wow! Okay. As I see it, Delicon could have only 2 potential targets for attack into the kingdom. High Castle, which I guess is what he's pointing at right now, and North Warden. Aha. His fortress at Sargoth is 300 miles to the north, and I doubt he has the resources to defend a line that long. Oh, between the two, yeah. So he's got to pick one. So an attack at Northwarden seems unlikely, leaving High Castle, which is a viable alternative, but neither target seems to have an obvious goal. I know you are no field strategist, and you hate to become involved in state matters, but I should like you to delay your return to your home at Stardock for a while. I feel ill at ease. You are not alone in that. I too have sensed something unusual in the air. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Boo! I won't ascribe it to anything as dire as magic. More likely we suffer from bad soup. Whoa. Hold on there, Pointer. What was that about? Let's read this though. Feelings aside, I will call up the militia reserves from Malak's Cross, Darkmoor, and Lytton, and join them to a detachment of the Krondorian Lancers just outside of the Dimwood. Okay. James will send word to me there. What of the garrison? It will remain in place. I have considered the option of a full push south, and it seems unlikely, but I will give Delicon nothing. Our agreement remains. Now we wait. Gods help Gorath if he betrays us to the Mordhell. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, there's a lady. Alright, well, we're done reading. We're in the palace, it would seem. Let's talk to the lady. Katala. Pleasure to... Oh, we've got Jimmy with us. Alright, a pleasure to see you again, James. Oh, we've got Jimmy with us. Alright. Wearing a red shirt and some orthopedic shoulder pads. I don't think they really do orthopedics on shoulders, but whatever. Mine is the greater pleasure, my lady. Is Pug about? You've just missed him. He and Makala went off to discuss magic someplace, and if I know my husband, that means I won't see him for a few days. Even on holiday, he can't seem to take his mind away from the art for long. She looks like a man. That is a man in a wig. With two baseballs in her robe. In his robe. Got a very jowly... I don't know. These digital photos from 1994 or whatever, they're not very flattering. In many ways, he and the prince are much alike. Where is Arutha? Anyway, I need to come up with a voice for him. He looks kind of stupid, for lack of a better word. It's terribly descriptive, but... How are his twins and the Princess Anita? It seems your famed luck is running thin today. Quite the contrary, for I still have your company, if I may have a moment. As much time as you need. What may I do for you? Gamana. So, I'm not gonna do silly voices for him. If anybody has any ideas for voices for people, I'm all ears, I guess. So when do I get to meet this stunning daughter of yours? I've heard quite a bit about Gamana, but I've been too busy to make the time to meet her. What an awkward question. I imagine you'll see her as soon as I do. She's more than likely trailing Pug and Makala about the palace. Any opportunity to hear her father discuss magic, and she's immediately at his side. Then, too, it may be she's hiding away from Arutha's twins. She's not quite interested in boys yet. Huh. I know that quite a few of the artificers in Stardock have been exporting their goods from the Academy. Are there any good places to buy magical items near here? The most notable one that's close is a little place called Stardock Annex in the Abbey of Ishop at Sarth. Well, we have already been there. Officially, they have no ties with the Academy, but there's not much we can do to keep them from using the name. Well... You gotta get introduced to trademark law, my lady. There's also a fellow by the name of Dubba, who buys from us, but he lives a long distance from here, out north of Romney, if I recall. Okay, well that was useful. Sewer, I hardly know her. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be keeping this on the DL. James halted the party to consider. Let's not give Delicon any more help than he needs. If we leave through the palace's main gates, we might as well have trumpeters going before us and announcing the fact to everyone within the Kingdom of the Isles. The sewers are probably our best option. Oh, good. Okay, so that's sewer. This is enter. Enter! The room was cramped. Locky, James muttered, looking through the Seigneur's personal effects piled in disorganized heaps. You may be a fine swordsman, but your personal organization leaves quite a bit to be desired. Oh, okay. So this is all Locklear's shit. So we're gonna take it. naturally. Do you have a crossbow? You do. But let's just take this anyway. And I do believe I'll take your quarrels. And the silverthorn. Now, James is now a part of our party, so I don't know if he's worth a damn. But I guess we'll find out. We're going to split these. And these. And you get this. And of course he's an excellent lockpick because this is Jimmy the Hand. He's a former thief. Do you have lockpicks? You do, but you're going to get more. You get that. Now he's not a weaponsmith really, is he? Yeah, he's got 39 in weaponcraft, I think. At this point, yeah, Gorath has more. So we're going to give you a doohickey, a whetstone. We'll give you the better one of the two. And let's give you the sword as well, because we're going to need to sell it. And I think I don't know if we're going to really be able to get back here, but we'll just leave that crap there. Alright. Let's go into the sewer. And we're back inside of the sewer. Oh, joy of joys. I don't know if enemies have respawned or anything like that, so I guess there's only one way for us to find out. It's actually quite an elaborate little dungeon here, so we'll just cruise along. See if we can find our way out. I think the exit is over here somewhere. I hope it is. Yeah, because I remember we kind of did the perimeter first and then moved inwards. Right. Creeping around in the sewers with our new pal James. James, Jim, Jimbo, Jimmy, Jim, Jimerson. Glad to have you with us. So far, it's just him and Gorath, although, you know, this is at the point where I have not played the game. I'm going to venture a guess and say that probably Owen... wait a minute. Oh, they were not about to be attacked. I called it. I was just about to say it. Took you too long enough. I was beginning to think the mockers had you bagged up again, Senor James. Is everything all right? Squire, suppose I ignore the fact that this trip is a state secret to which you are not supposed to be privy, and that we are hurrying out of the sewers instead of leaving by the main gates at the proper time. How did you find out we were coming? Well, after Senor Locklear dumped me off, and after we got here and told me I could go home, I got bored and decided to check out Krondor. Unfortunately, there's nothing much interesting going on here, so I decided I would come back to the palace. I tried to pay Gorath an unexpected visit last night, but discovered that the guards had been doubled with orders that no one could see him. I might have fallen for it if I hadn't heard someone snoring in his cell. Gorath doesn't snore, I take it. Not a sound. Well, he wouldn't. He is like the Data of our group. He's the Mr. Spock. Not a sound. When I realized that something was in the air, again. Oh Lord. I went to find Locklear and discovered that he was mysteriously absent despite a tray of food delivered to his door just moments after I slipped away. Finally, I came down here and talked to Lim, who told me you had been down here earlier this morning. Blah, 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 blah. At that point, I realized Arutha meant to slip Gorath out of Krondor for some reason. Are you sure you're not a thief by profession? You think unnervingly like a mocker I used to know. So, are we ready? We should probably get moving. Where are we going, anyway? You cannot accompany us, Owen. Our mission is much too important. You are not important. You are useless. Quiet, Mordhell. I'll handle this. But I could jeopardize your mission. Who knows who might take me captive between here and Tyburn. If I go back to Krondor now, I might accidentally talk to someone. I just don't know what I'll do. I'm just such a big, silly man. I could just blab the whole thing out to everybody who wants to hear. Owen. Besides, I'm from the eastern part of the kingdom. It's my hood, bitches. I know the area and I might be able to help. For better or worse, you seem determined to hitch your fate to catastrophe. Always good to have optimist aboard. But if you want to get yourself killed at a tender young age, who am I to naysay it? I used to pull the same stunts when Arutha wished to pull out of Krondor. Alright then, Squire, you can come along, but these are the ground rules. 1. I'm in charge, and you do whatever I say without question. Drop your pants. Now, 2. Under no circumstances do you reveal anything about Gorath or our mission to anyone. This sounds strangely familiar. If someone asks, we'll continue what Senior Locklear suggested. Gorath is an elf. Thirdly and lastly, you don't wander off on your own. I don't care if you're watering the trees, you ask me first. Oh, he can't even go pee-pee. Is that all clear? Or all that clear? Absolutely, whatever you say. Stop smiling. You're going to earn your keep. I know I'm going to regret this, but let's get moving. We have a long way to go and no time to get there. So, wait. I used the Star Trek analogy before and sounded really cool when I did it, but I'm kind of getting the feeling that this is our Han Solo, this is our Chewbacca, and this is our Luke Skywalker. Just a hunch. Anyway, just going to cruise on through here, and I believe, yes, we are there. This will be the exit to the sewers. Alrighty. Made our way out of the reeking blackness. Is there something in the hole again? Damn. Okay, so can we go to the... I don't know if we really want to go anywhere here. It seems... I thought the whole point was not to, like, draw attention to ourselves by wandering around the city aimlessly, but whatever. Here we are. Let's sell some of the shit that we have. I don't care very much about getting an excellent deal on some of this. Ooh, that's nice. I'll take that. And of course, Owen's got all his shit still. Let's give this to you. And have you sharpen. Please. Please to sharpen. Okay, well, fine. We'll just sell these then. And more thrilling item management, folks. This is great. Oh, you can, change right now. Everybody's kitted out appropriately otherwise, I think. I think we're good to go. Now, I think that you can poison quarrels, and you can make a tidy sum by doing that. I'm going to leave that for the time being, just because I might actually want to use poisoned quarrels at some point, so we'll not bother with that just yet. Okay, that looks fine. And let's get out of Dodge here. Okay, we're back on the road again. And we're supposed to go to Romney. Romney style. Where's Romney? Romney is all the way over there. Good heavens. Well, we've got quite a jaunt ahead of us. I think I will save this for another session and cut things off here. And we'll just hang out here by the side of the road. This has been Effing Controller playing Betrayal at Krondor, and we will be starting Chapter 2 here in a little while. I'll see you guys then.